Warning: this podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's up? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
That's right. And you're tuned into another episode of the Viewers Anonymous podcast where we give you our very own takes and reviews of movies and TV straight out of Hollywood. Before I say what's going on with you, Happy New Year and also Happy Podiversary, my brother. What's going on
Yes,
with you?
sir, man. Happy New Year to you as well, man. And yes, man, this is the third year, man, the pod anniversary today of starting the Viewers Anonymous. For the
Yep.
people that don't know, you know what I'm saying, the first episode was Six Underground. We actually dropped
Mm-hmm.
it on New Year, so
Yep.
we're 2 days late, but it's exciting, man. It's exciting to be on this platform to for us to I think yeah, we started I think we started with text of like, yo, you're trying to do
Mm-hmm.
this, and then we just got on the
Mm-hmm.
phone and we got to figuring out how we were gonna do this, man. So it was it's been a great journey, man, to be
I
to
was
be
in
doing a
Maine.
you was in Maine. Yeah, you was there. You had
I was in
when
Maine. I
your
was
job
working
had
it.
sent you at that for about 2 weeks or some shit like that.
Yeah, buddy, that was the worst goddamn work trip ever. It was snowing every goddamn where, man. It was cold than a bitch in Maine, bro.
But you was being creative up there though. You was being
Oh
creative.
yeah,
So
for sure, for
yeah, so
sure.
that was cool, man. But yeah, man, it's great, man. Like I said it on my last pod of 2022 that I did on the 28 minutes of lesson. I was just like, man, I just gotta thank you, man, for putting, what I'm saying, a portion of your career, in my hands on, with doing the pod with me and everything because it's just we've seen how pod relationships have went sour. We've seen situation. In my case, I had my co-host to pass on me. Shout out to Uncle
Mm-hmm.
Washington, rest in peace to him. But like,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
man, like
Rest in peace.
we I mean, look, we seen pods at our level, and we seen pods at great levels. Like the JBP. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And for us to start this, 3 years. I think what you meant to say was 3 years and running, but you said three and out. I was like,
Yeah, that's
I was like,
I was
I
tripping.
was like three and out. I was like, wait a minute, is that right?
I was watching football too, so it
Yeah.
was
See,
it was
that's what it
kind of
was.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. And we do the 4-3 pod too, y'all. So it's a lot of shit going
Yeah. Yeah. Cause when I heard three and out, I was like, yeah. Cause I was thinking football myself. Cause it took me a minute to catch it, and then I was like,
yeah,
oh shit, wait a minute, don't say three and out. But
yeah.
man, 3 years,
Definitely
three
didn't mean
years
that.
in running. Yeah, man, 3 years in running, man. It's been fun. It's been great. We've been able to do so many moves. And the thing is like I felt like I was coming in with the ideas of like all the heavy hitters early. It's like we did
Mm-hmm.
all like the heavy hitter movies like in the first year, and it's like
Yep.
now it's like all right, so we still going back in the archives, but then we also doing the newer films. But
Mm-hmm.
man, it's been fun, man. I've been just waiting to like find someone in life to be able to just break down a bunch of movies with because for years I've been wanting to do something like this. So definitely
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
somebody like you.
Man, listen, I appreciate you, man, and the sentiments are definitely shared, bro. Like, first and foremost, people don't understand, man. And I said this, you know what I'm saying, a bunch of times, but when you have, you know what I'm saying, a passion to do something, and you have somebody that has that same passion, and they bring that same type of energy, if not more energy, you know what I'm saying, to the project as you do, um, you know what I'm saying? And I say this, you know what I'm saying, like not with any levity at all. Like it really makes it easier, you know what I'm saying, to come on and do these pods. Like people don't understand, like, first and foremost, we doing this with, you know what I'm saying, no crew. And we done said this a bunch of times too. But we do this with no crew. You know what I'm saying? We do this with no help. We do this by ourselves. We come up with all the ideas ourselves. We literally do production before we even start potting. So the fact that, you know what I'm saying, we've been doing this for going on 3 years and still going strong, man. And it's just, it's fun. It gets better and better. You know what I'm saying? We're getting better and better at that, which that's always a plus. But the best part about it all is the fact that, you know what I'm saying, we created a friendship and a real bond over this. And this is something that a lot of people don't get a chance to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, it's not every day that you meet somebody over the internet, you know what I'm saying, and they a couple states away, and you know what I'm saying, like they just got that same love for, you know what I'm saying, a certain thing that you do. The fact that we not only just do this pod, but we was able to come up with another pod. The fact that we've been on each other's podcasts in the past, you know what I'm saying. The fact that we've always been able to rely on each other and stuff like that, and that's always a dope thing, man. And then not only that, bro, just like we really become friends outside of this. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's the most important thing. The fact that, you know what I'm saying, like if I come to South Carolina, we definitely gonna kick it. If you come to Dayton, we definitely, well, you done already came to Dayton. So, you know what I'm saying, we done definitely, you know what I'm saying, did a pod before in person too. So like that type of stuff, man, to me, that type of shit is dope. Um Man, it's dope as hell just being able to, you know what I'm saying, not just see myself grow, but see you grow in this as well. Because I remember when we first started doing this shit, like, and I mean like first started doing this, I'm talking about stolen time, already home days. And I was like, how the fuck do you do these shits alone? And I just had to do a 4-3 by myself not too long ago, and I held it down. So I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? That's real growth, man. That is real growth. So I'm telling you guys now, man, you know what I'm saying? Enjoy this shit, you know what I'm saying, as much as you can. And if you guys have, you know what I'm saying, a project that you feel a certain way about, you know, don't be scared to get out there and try to find somebody if you're looking for somebody. But don't, you know what I'm saying, don't be scared to get out there and find somebody who has that same passion as you, because you never know, you know what I'm saying, the type of networking and connections that you'll run into. It could blossom into something as great as this, man. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm greatly appreciative of everything you've thrown my way, man. Everything that, you know what I'm saying, you've been there for me through personal times. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we really have a connection. So I think that's super, super dope, man. And hey man, for many more years to come, brother. Many more years to come.
Yeah, like that what you just said is the biggest thing for me. Like yeah, the podcast is fun, it's great and all that type stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
what's better is just the fact of like the friendship that we have built throughout this
Mm-hmm.
whole time. Because it's just like a lot of the times we'll get on here and we'll just like, I mean, it's not just when we get on the StreamYard that we talk. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? We text, we call each other, all that type stuff. Like we
Yep.
dealt with personal shit together. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that, and then just the fact of like how it felt like this shit felt like fake for the fact of I was in the situation that I was in, and I was just
Yep.
like, yo, I got a friend, you know what I'm saying, to live in this place, and like I'm heading up there, and you like, yo, that shit is literally like 10 minutes from here.
Yeah.
And
Literally.
I'm like, hold up, I'm like, out of how big Ohio is, and
Man.
just how, dude, the world is so big, and just for me to be in that situation that I was in, you know, to be, you know what I'm saying, talking to this girl that was stationed up there, and then I put in the GPS
Yep.
to go to your crib, and it's like, yo, like it's like 12 minutes away, and it's like, it's like, yo,
Literally.
what are the odds? It's like, what are the
Yeah,
odds
man.
that this really happened? So, nah, man, yeah, I felt like it wouldn't be it wouldn't be better any other kind of way, man. Like it's
Right.
just crazy how life just tend to work. Is I know we told that story before, but we could have some new listeners today. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. And for us to just, you know what I'm saying, reach out to each other on Instagram to
Yep.
build the
To
rapport that
fucking
we had. Because I
SoundCloud
mean,
at that. Through
yeah,
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud
That's the
days,
crazy
man.
part. Yeah, man.
Man, yeah, man. Like you helped me with some shit. I helped you with some shit, and it was just like, and we built this rapport. And I don't think people understand. It's like we've known each other for fucking 5 years, over 5 years now.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, for it to be like where it was and to where it is now, like definitely, man. Like when, you know what I'm saying, when I get my life at the level where I want to get it, you know what I'm saying. Like I
Hmm.
accomplished one thing, but once I really start getting myself together, I'm definitely gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, fly back out there. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to like do some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
That'll
yeah,
be
for sure, man. For sure,
yeah,
man.
man, that'll be dope, man. Get to that point to be able to do some shit like that. So but yeah, man, it's been a great not just three
Yeah.
years, but you know what I'm saying, over 5 years, man, doing
Yes, sir,
building
man.
building this rapport that we got now, man. Cause like look, we had VJ tell us like she didn't even
Hmm.
realize that she always
Yeah.
thought we was in the in the same room the whole time. She was like, man, she was like, what?
Hmm.
You live where? He lives
Hmm.
where? She was like, y'all chemistry feels like y'all are in the same room. And
Yeah.
I will say what has helped is we started because like when we used to do those pies early, you know what I'm saying, we were doing this shit over the phone. So like it's
Yep.
hard to feed off of somebody off of a phone. But
Yeah.
then we got to the Zoom days, which we still had our issue because Zoom, dude, I'm glad we
Man.
came. Look, shout out to JD because
Yes.
JD is the one who got us
Yes.
on StreamYard. But
For sure.
being able to, you know what I'm saying, see your reactions, you ever see my reactions, like it feels like, you know what I'm saying, we in the same room. But
Definitely.
but we have did one pod in the same room. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Gan. Gan was involved in that podcast as well.
Yep.
But yeah, so definitely like this shit ain't fake because and I don't think and I
Hmm.
say this when we started, I think the people think like when we do like pre-production, it's not like normally like this is how we're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? It's scripted like this
Yeah.
script
Oh no.
like we just
We
mainly
just
be
call it
talking.
pre-production because yeah, I'm about to say we call it
Yeah.
pre-production because it's before the show. We probably spend maybe a total of maybe like 5 to 6 minutes on what we gonna do on the show, and then the rest is just catching up, talking
Yeah.
shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I said, man. Like that's the to me, that's why I said that friendship part is the dopest part about it, bro. Because it's like
Yeah.
half the time. I want to say like these last few episodes, bro. Like on pre-production, we didn't even talk about the episode.
Nah,
We just
not at
start
all.
talking. We just get to talking, and that's it. So yeah, like half the shit we ain't even talking to. We ain't even talking about the show. We just getting on here just chatting it up, man.
Definitely, definitely, man. But yeah, man. Thanks to everybody, man, for all y'all support. You know
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? For listening all these years. The only thing I would ask of y'all, man, this is what I want from the fans in 2023. We you ain't got to give us a 5 star, whatever, just whatever star y'all want to do.
Yep.
Just we just want to hear some feedback. If y'all could just
Yeah.
go on there, be like, yo, that show is trash, this show is fire, whatever. I
Hmm.
don't care what you say. Because the feedback is the one thing that we can go back and we can look at and be like, okay, somebody gave us their opinion. And people love to give out their opinion. So give us y'all opinions. You know, whether it's on Apple, whether it's on Spotify, even if it's on Instagram when we post it on Instagram, Twitter, or on the
Yep.
Facebook page, like wherever. Like we would just love to hear more feedback from the fans. But that's all I got on that.
Hey man, if you guys can do a solid on my behalf, if you are listening to this, just go to our Twitter and just add us and you know what I'm saying, just tell us Happy New Year and hashtag view a non-pod. That's it. If you guys could do that, that would be great, man. Just so we can see who all's following us, who all's, you know what I'm saying, listening and watching and stuff like that. And that's the type of thing, you know what I'm saying, that we really need for sure to kind of see who our audience is. And you know what I'm saying, we got the analytics, but the analytics ain't nothing like, you know what I'm saying, being able to talk to the people, you know what I'm saying, not, we're not face
Mhm.
to face, but at least having some type of interaction and engagement with the people. So if you guys get a chance to do that, please do. That would be great. Like I said, happy new year to you all. Hope you all had a wonderful new year. I know I enjoyed it myself. Sports betting became legal in Ohio, so I definitely went crazy. You know what I'm saying? Getting a few bets. I actually won some money. So my year is starting off great, man. My year is starting off pretty good. Hopefully I can win some more. If this one bet go down like I needed to go down, and it's really gonna start off good. But man, listen. So this episode, you know what I'm saying, being that not only is it, you know what I'm saying, the first episode of 2023, it's also our 3-year anniversary, man. We are going to give you guys a recap of our favorite movies of 2022. And the crazy part is, like I said, people really don't understand the connection that we have because it's a weird connection. Because first and foremost, neither one of us called each other. neither, neither one of us called each other about these movies that we putting together. Neither one of us said how many movies to do or none of that. We initially were supposed to do a top 5 list of movies, ladies and gentlemen.
Mhm.
Somehow, some way, S. Dot did his list. He had 13. I did my list and I had 13. Not only not only did we have 13 apiece, we came to the conclusion that we're gonna add one. And he has 2 movies that I didn't put on mine, and I have 2 movies that he didn't put on his. So just to let you know that we are really in sync in this shit. This shit is not a joke. This shit is not a game. Like, we are not making this up just to have some shit to talk about. This shit really happened. And you are going to see as we go along through these lists, or through this list, because basically it's just one big ass list minus 4 movies. So this is about to be
Hey,
fun, man. So
hey, you just reminded me, and I just watched this the other day.
yeah.
When you said this is not a test. Hey,
Hmm.
so you remember when Kevin Hart did that thing where he was like, he was like, hey, he was like, when you my best friend, he was like, you're supposed to be mad if you're in my life. He was like, cause my bullshit is your bullshit. Your
Yeah,
bullshit is my bullshit.
for
He
sure.
said, so when I give you that face, he was like, this is not a game. This is not a test. And
This is
I
not a
was
test at all.
hey, that shit
Hey,
was
man,
so funny.
listen. He wasn't lying though, man. He was not lying
Nah,
at all.
nah.
You
That's
gotta
that's
you
one of
gotta
that's
be
one
in
of the
sync with
realest
your
clips.
boys, man.
That's one of the realest clips of all time.
For
I'm about to
sure, man.
help me.
Man, yo, being in that situation though, when you tell your dude, bro, like, hey, remember when we was, and he be like, what? Bruh,
But he like,
what are you doing? What are you doing, man? Why?
really?
Come
Just
on,
like he
man.
said, help me, nigga.
Nigga.
Like
Man,
what, man?
like,
Come
god
on,
damn.
man. Man, you remember, man? You
Yeah.
remember, man? Me and you did what? What you talking about? Really?
Hey,
Come on.
man. Listen,
You knew I was talking to you.
I've come up with some extravagant lies. I've lied to a point one time to where the nigga said, "Hey man, look, I'm gonna just tell you the truth. We didn't do none of that shit. Cause ain't no way I can vouch for that right now." I was like, bro, I had a great one. I mean, that motherfucker was clutch. That was a clutch ass lie that I came up with. It was for my brother. That nigga said he told his grace, said, "Hey, you know what? You know what? He lying. We both lying. We both lying. I can't go through with that for real." He was like, "Ain't no way you came up with that shit on the fly." I said, "Man, I came with that shit off the dome, man."
That's hilarious. That's funny.
All
But
right, man. But
listen,
let's get
man.
into it, man. What's up? What you got?
Let's do it, man. Look, I want to start this shit off with a bang. I'm sorry.
Okay.
This is one of the best movies that really for me that came out this year. And we
Mm-hmm.
gotta we got I want to start it off. I want to get right into the shits, man, with the Batman. I'm gonna be
Yep.
honest. When I saw Robert Pattinson was gonna be the Batman, I trashed that shit. I was like, ain't no way.
Amen.
I was like, man, ain't no way he could pull this off. Christian Bale is
Mm-hmm.
the man. Ben Affleck,
Mm-hmm.
he was bad, but I was like, Robert Pattinson gonna be worse than him. Man, when I tell
Yeah.
you I saw this movie, I was like, okay, I was wrong. I
Yeah.
was wrong.
Yep.
I was like, Robert Pattinson, he murdered this shit. Like he murdered
Yeah.
it. But at the same time, what this movie, what Matt Reeves was able to do with this movie, man, I know there was one thing you didn't like about it. I really didn't. I guess it really didn't. I didn't notice it as much until you said something about the whole everybody
What, everybody
whispering
talking
thing.
like Batman? Man.
Yeah, I
Cause
didn't. I didn't
who
really
the
pay
hell don't
any
want to be in a
attention.
Batman movie and talk like Batman? Come on, man.
Hey man, you was killing the new James Gordon, man. But
Mm-hmm.
look. I fucks with this, man. I really do. I think that the story was great. I like how they didn't give us the regular Batman story that we usually get because this
Right.
this Batman, he was all about like vengeance. Like he was the angry young
Mm-hmm.
Batman.
Yep.
And with them going that route and with them giving us like a small version of the Penguin. But I think that what we're going to get later on is I think the next one that they do,
Mm-hmm.
the Penguin is going like 'cause the Penguin wasn't the man in this one. He was just he
No.
was like the right hand man of the man. But even
Well,
with him being, go ahead.
the interesting thing about the way, because you did make a great point about Matt Reeves and his production on this one. The interesting thing that they did with this one was that they basically were following the New 52 comics. And in the New 52 comics, what they did instead of making the villains so comical and you know what I'm saying, like so animated or whatever,
Hmm.
for those they pretty much just made them like normal as people, but they were like real live crime, like because you know in Gotham it's really just like Batman is really just a regular person, and most of the villains really are, if you really know anything about the Batman comics, most of the motherfuckers really are just regular people. It's only a few people that have like superpowers or you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers he really got to
Hmm.
go all out for. For the most part, like most of these motherfuckers are just regular people. Like Two Face is a ex-DA, Harvey Dent, like regular motherfucker. The
Yeah.
Penguin, that's just a regular motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? The Riddler, just a regular motherfucker. The Joker, just a regular motherfucker. So I think Catwoman the same way, just a fucking jewel thief.
Yep.
Like so, you know what I'm saying? The way that he took that from these newer comics, this new the new run of comics, the new 52 style, and he took that and pretty much not just got it from the comics, but he also got it from, you know what I'm saying, the video games and the animated movies and stuff like that. Like he really took all that and was able to mold it into a great live action film for sure.
Yeah, and I love the vision that they went with the Riddler, because the Riddler
Mm-hmm.
has always been the person that, and I guess because we saw the Jim Carrey version of him being the Riddler,
Mm-hmm.
and like he was always comical. This one super dark. Really, this whole movie is dark. Like the way that they
Yeah.
even shot this movie, like it was always rainy. It was always, what I'm saying, kind of foggy. You know what I'm saying? It gave you similar vibes to how Christopher Nolan would do stuff. Because all Christopher Nolan films always seem kind of grainy, like, and like this movie kind of
Yeah.
gave you that grit. Like it was real
Yeah.
gritty. You know what I'm saying? It was always dark. It was always raining. And the Riddler was the same way. Like he wasn't
Mm-hmm.
funny. Like he gave you the riddles, but none of those riddles was funny. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I thought that part was cool. To find out that Falcone was actually Selena Kyle's dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We like that wasn't something that I what I'm saying, was even aware of. Like just the whole story of Batman is really a detective in this movie. Like that's really
I
all
mean,
he
but
is.
yeah, like really just in his origins, that's really what he is. He's basically supposed to be the world's greatest detective. You know what I'm saying? But he just so happens to be a billionaire who was able to afford the best jujitsu classes, and he's able to just whoop anybody's ass. You know what I'm saying? Like he got the best technology. You know what I'm saying? He got the best masters. This nigga was so good that he went to an assassin school and was top of the class, like that type shit. Like some shit that billionaires was only, you know what I'm saying, gonna be able to afford. Batman was able to do that and become the best at, you know what I'm saying, at that and what he was. And what I liked most about the movie, and like you said, when we first heard about this, we was like Robert Pattinson. There's no way this nigga's gonna be a great Batman. The thing that I liked about this was it wasn't to me the fact that he was a good Batman, because he's a decent Batman. Let's be real. He's not like the best Batman. He's not a
Yeah, he's
bad
not
Batman.
Christian Bale. Yeah, Christian
He's
Bale to me
and
was the
he's
best.
not, yeah, but he wasn't George Clooney either. So you know what I'm saying. We got to give him that. what I liked about it was the cast that they had around him. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Having Jeffrey Wright play Commissioner Gordon, you got a guy who can play, you know what I'm saying, that dark, gloomy role, but you know what I'm saying, you not looking at him like, ain't no way this nigga is a cop. Like if you look at Jeffrey Wright in this movie, you'd be like, he looked like he was a retired or on his brink of retirement being a cop. You know what I'm saying? Having Zoe Kravitz play Selena Kyle, who throughout the years has been changed back and forth of, you know what I'm saying, being this, and I don't want to say ambiguous, that's not the word, but being this person who can be a black woman, can be a white woman, has been so many different ethnicities, you know what I'm saying, but to have Zoe Kravitz play this role and nobody complain about Zoe Kravitz being in this role. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Um, to have, you know what I'm saying, the person that they had play the Riddler playing him, like he did a hell of a job playing the villain. And this is always has been the thing that I've said about DC is that when they do their movies, if they can do a movie where the villain is great, the movie's always going to be good. If you look at the Batman series that Christopher Nolan did, if you pay attention to the movies, the villain has always been great. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Bringing goddamn, what is his name?
Heath Ledger
The
and
Taken dude,
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson, bringing Liam Neeson in to play Ra's al Ghul. You know what I'm saying? Bringing Heath Ledger in to play, you know what I'm saying, Joker. Bringing Tom Hardy in to play Bane. They all did amazing jobs at that role. And for the most part, if you really watch it, I think we give Christian Bale so much props because he has to pretty much go up against these guys as far
Mhm.
as acting, not just in the movie fighting and everything else, but acting as well. You know what I'm saying? For him to be this pompous, you know what I'm saying, arrogant Bruce Wayne, it's like you don't, you know what I'm saying, we've never seen Bruce Wayne before until we really seen Christian Bale. They did a little bit with Michael Keaton, you know what I'm saying? They did a little bit with Val Kilmer, but for the most part, like Christian Bale, we've seen a lot more of him be Bruce Wayne than we really seen him be Batman if you really put these movies together. So I
Yep.
thought that was, you know what I'm saying, a genius way for them to take it too. So to also do that in this one, you know what I'm saying, with Robert Pattinson, I think he did a great job of being Bruce Wayne as well. Also alongside being Batman, also alongside, you know what I'm saying, the cast, the characters that he was around. I think all of that just excuse me, all of that just meshed well to kind of give them, you know what I'm saying, that good soup that you was looking for in this movie.
Yeah. And the last thing I add because we got to move along is I
Yep.
love how realistic the Batmobile was. You know what I'm saying? It was just an
Yes.
old
Yes.
Challenger. No,
Yeah.
Charger. It was an old Charger, and he had a
Right.
regular motorcycle. It wasn't the most
Mm-hmm.
extravagant shit that like Christian Bale had, but then at the same time, I think that this version of Batman is younger. It's the younger version,
Yep.
so
Just
he
starting out.
hasn't
Yep.
gotten to he hasn't gotten to that level yet. So I love the way they put together. To me, when it comes to DC, obviously I'm gonna go with those Dark Knight Rises, but
Mm-hmm.
this is to me the third best DC movie they put together. Well,
I agree.
I mean, are we really counting Constantine? Really?
Well, I mean,
Because if
it
we counting
is, but it
Constantine,
ain't. It is,
yeah, you
but it
know
ain't.
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
so like to me, Constantine would be like how the X-Men or Spider-Man is to the MCU. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like shit like that.
cool,
Because
cool.
it's a bunch of DC movies that technically haven't been DCEU movies. You know what I mean? So I mean, you could say Constantine is kind of a part of it, but until they actually add him in, then I wouldn't give him that. But definitely Constantine is up there though, as far as those movies. Um, Next on the list, man, what do we have? Eternals. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Let's keep it in the superhero vein, man. Eternals. Eternals came out. Um, it to me it wasn't as widely promoted as all of the other MCU movies, but for what it was, as far as being the stepping stone for what's to come in these next few phases, I think they did a hell of a job. You know what I'm saying? To not only have, the cast that they had, but to have as many characters in this movie as they had. Um and to be able to focus on as many of them as they did. I thought they did a great job in doing that. I thought they did a great job of setting up what's to come later on in the, I'm saying, in the MCU, because as far as we know, um we have this hand growing out of the fucking world, and we have no mention of this shit, right? We have a piece of a head growing out of this world that we have no mention of in the MCU yet. Um, and what's to come could possibly be bringing back the fact that um this eternal, I mean, not this eternal, I forgot what they were called, but it's not an eternal, it's something else. But you know what I'm saying, this motherfucker is literally at the top of the poles, sticking out, you know what I'm saying, frozen at the top of the planet. So, you know what I'm saying, not only that, they also show you just the fact how they brought into, you know what I'm saying, they brought mutants into, you know what I'm saying, the MCU. They also show you, you know, Adam Warlock. You see Adam Warlock for the first time. You know what I mean? Like, it's a bunch of shit that we're seeing that is, you know what I'm saying, destined to pretty much set up down the line. I enjoyed it. I thought it was dope. What are your thoughts?
Uh, first of all, this is gonna be a little extra because I went to pull it up, and this is gonna be an extra. This is we giving y'all a little. This is oh man, like a little something to throw on the entree because this actually came out in 2021. It
Yeah,
came out in
it did.
November,
It did. It definitely
and
did.
but no, like it was very different for me because like I wasn't into um like we spoke about this before. I wasn't into the comic books like you are. Like I am the
Right.
person that I'm watching all the movies and I'm learning as I go. So the Eternals was something that I was, what I'm saying, wasn't privy to. But
Hmm.
what? Oh, all right, Siri. I don't know why you always want to be jumping in when I'm talking, but no, it was something that was very different for me. And like so, when
Yeah.
I first started watching the Eternals, I'm constantly learning, as it goes. So I'm
Yeah.
watching it, and I remember seeing that Angelina Jolie was in it, Sam
Yep.
Hyde was in it, not Brandon, Brian Tyree Henry was in it.
Brian Tyree Henry. Yep.
Yeah, and I'm watching it, and I'm guessing I'm gonna be honest with you. I really need to see it again because that
Hmm.
that one watch that I did watch it, like I'm pretty sure there were little nuggets in there that I did not get. And
Right.
like you said, it
Right.
was the one thing that was really kind of bringing the mutants into it. So
Hmm.
I felt like this was the one that we had to get to make the whole mutant thing make sense. Because
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, wasn't this the first one to technically come out that mentions the mutants? Like
Yeah.
since the whole
Yeah.
Fox getting, Disney buying up Fox and Sony, so now
Yep.
we're able to bring in all these worlds together because a movie that I'm going to mention later, I don't think they would have been able to do that movie without, Fox and Disney and that whole Sony deal thing went down.
Hmm.
So this was the movie to really bring everything into it so
Yeah.
everything would make sense. And that's one thing that they have been doing that is great with this whole thing is the fact of like I think the only thing they screwed up on, the only thing the
Hmm.
MCU screwed up on was not Scarlet Witch, but what's that motherfucker? Black Widow
Moon Knight.
being pushed back
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because
Big time. Big
because the
time.
time because
Big
the
time.
timelines didn't match. We
It
watched
was
her
too
die.
off.
Yeah,
Well,
like we
see,
watched her
okay.
die and
Now I agree with you. I agree with you. But what I will say is this is the thing that I had to go back and watch Scarlet Witch. I had to go back and watch Black Widow because what this movie does, And I know everybody like, yo, how y'all get the Black Widow from Eternals? This is what happens in the MCU. Just roll with me. But pretty much what ends up happening is that you have this perfect setup for what's to come down the line. And I think they took those, you know what I'm saying, those few phases, or this last phase to pretty much set up everything else that they're going to do. They have a lot of major stuff coming out in these next few years. And what I did like about Black Widow was the fact that it wasn't more so about um the Black Widow character that Scarlett Johansson plays. I think it was more so just the quote unquote the mantle of what Black Widow represented and what Black Widow will be in the future for the MCU. If you have seen this movie, you do know that her sister was a huge part of this movie, and a lot of it focused on not just, her, but her relationship with her sister. And if you know what I'm saying, you know anything about the comics, or if you know anything about what could possibly be to come, I think what Marvel did a great job of was they were setting up what could be, what I'm saying, the next few Avengers movies with the young Avengers. You know what I'm saying? We might be seeing a whole new set of Avengers, because now her younger sister can actually take her place of being the new Black Widow. You have you have T'Challa's younger sister Shuri bringing in the mantle of the Black Panther now. We see the mighty Thor and Jane Foster, what I'm saying, taking over the Thor mantle. We also know that there's going to be a new Captain Marvel now, which is not Carol Danvers, but it is man, I forgot her name, but it's her best
Oh, I
friend's
forget her
sister.
name too.
You know what I'm saying? We got Miss Marvel coming in now. You know what I'm saying? We got Moon Knight out here. I mean, like, so it's a bunch of different things. Plus, we still haven't even seen the next episode of Loki. You know what I'm saying? We got the Ant-Man and the Wasp bringing it. You know what I'm saying? Bringing in our new villain with Kang the Conqueror. You know what I'm saying? So we haven't even seen what he's capable of yet. You know what I'm saying? Jonathan Majors playing that role. So what I did notice was Black Widow was more so, like I said, about the relationship between, you know, the Black Widow and her younger sister. You know what I'm saying? Coming back to that, bringing her into the fold now, to where now we know that Scarlett Johansson's character is not here anymore. Her younger sister can now come and take over and, you know what I'm saying, play that role. We've even seen in Doctor Strange in the multiverse how they had Captain Britain out there. You know what I'm saying? And instead of Captain America, it was Captain Britain. You know what I'm saying? We even had the X-Men with Professor X popping up. We had the Fantastic Four with Mr. Fantastic popping up. So and we actually seen the Black Miss Marvel, you know what I'm saying, in the
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Strange. So now that, you know what I'm saying, we have that, I think it was the perfect setup. And then to bring all that around in the Eternals, we've seen how the Eternals had not only came to save Earth, but they also acclimated into, you know what I'm saying, Earth's society in different realms and different parts and different times. And they're, you know what I'm saying, we don't even know how many that are actually left on the planet. We don't even know how many are coming back to the planet. Like I said, we still have a whole head in the hand at the North Pole in the MCU that we haven't even got to yet. You know what I'm saying? Which may end up being the island of Ganesha, which is, you know what I'm saying, a part of the X-Men canon and stuff like that. So I think what Eternal did was that, like I said, they were a great foundation of what's to come in the MCU in these next few years.
Definitely, man. And I'm gonna keep it rolling in that realm, man.
Okay.
Another movie that I had was Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yep.
And the reason why I thought it was one of the great films, and like I just mentioned, without the whole Disney buying up the Sony part and the Fox part to be able to bring the X-Men and being able to bring in um with the X-Men and the Spider-Man rights, because they only had like half for like the Spider-Man rights, because the Tobey Maguire version, where you got the three Spider-Mans out of him, and then you had the other version when the Amazing Spider-Man that you had with Andrew Garfield. And so you really couldn't do Spider-Man No Way Home you know what I'm saying, with this whole multiverse thing without all of that happening because they didn't own the rights to it. So now they own the rights to it. Now we're able to get the movie that I thought was very great and how they was able to pull this whole thing together. And now the one thing about the Tom Holland um Spider-Man is, even going back to the first one, he was really tight with Tony. You know what I'm saying? So he was real good with the Iron Man. So all of his movies has always had like another Avenger into it. So now the Iron Man, Tony being dead, now you bringing in Doctor Strange. And so now Doctor Strange is in it. He asked Doctor Strange for his help and he's fucked up the whole spell and he start bringing, you know what I'm saying, the two Spider-Mans from the different universes. And then not only just that, they brought their villains in first. You know what I'm saying? You brought the Sandman in.
Mm-hmm.
You brought Electro in. Um, you brought the Green Goblin in, the original Green Goblin. He didn't even know he
Yep.
was dead. You bring the lizard part dude back. So what was so great about this film was how they was able to put all this stuff into one film, and none of it would have been possible if Disney didn't buy all this stuff up. So with
Right.
them being able to do that, we're able to get that movie now. And I thought the way that they put it together, I thought it was phenomenal. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, it was really good. It did get a little more. I like how Andrew Garfield was like the emotional one. Like he was like just
Mm-hmm.
just for some odd reason he was just more emotional than everybody else. But oh man, how Dr. Octavius? How I forget about
Yeah.
him? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To bring
Yeah.
him back and for him to have the
Yeah.
issues that he had. Um, but no, man, I honestly thought that for some odd reason, I felt like this movie, like it had its buzz in the beginning, but I felt like it was
Mm-hmm.
really slept on. I don't know if it's because the one thing that they did do, I think they was kind of making a mockery out of it, is the whole thing of like all of them have a story about Uncle Ben dying and
Mm-hmm.
how they felt it was their fault, and they was able to really bond off of that. And I thought that part of the film was really dope because they was able to learn like, yo, even though we in different universes, we was in different time frames because Tobey Maguire is the old man. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, I've been
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man for fucking decades. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
for a
you
minute.
just
Yeah.
yeah, like I'm old now. And then I've already told you, Andrew Garfield always been my favorite. I like the two Amazing Spider-Mans pretty much the
Mm-hmm.
most. But I honestly thought that this movie, man, I thought it was really, really good, and I felt like it was slept on.
Well, the thing is that I appreciated it because, and you just pointed this out, was that they had the three different Spider-Mans on there, right? And if
Hmm.
you know anything about it, the three different Spider-Mans are all from the three different canons of Spider-Man. So Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is when Peter Parker is in college. You know what I'm saying? Coming out of college, a little bit older.
Hmm.
Andrew Garfield's is his, his high school years into college. And then you have Tom Holland's character, who is the high school version of Spider-Man. And all of these are actual, what I'm saying, Spider-Man characters, right?
Hmm.
And so um with them having done that, if you notice in the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, MJ was the what I'm saying, the character. And
Hmm.
then was the what I'm saying, was the girl. And then in in the Amazing Spider-Man with Garfield, it was the Stacy chick, you know what I'm saying? And then back in Tom Holland, it was, you got a mix of all of that, but now you have the main character, you know what I'm saying, being MJ, just like how, you know what I'm saying, the cartoon was, because that one is more focused on the cartoon. So that's why you get certain villains that he's facing in there. Like you got Electro. Electro was super in the cartoons. Um, you know what I'm saying? MJ was, you know what I'm saying, the girl that he was after in the cartoons. You'll get a bunch of these characters that you have, and to me, I think that the greatness of that, of them even bringing the villains back, was you now have a chance to not only, like I said, that this is what Marvel does. They do great setups. To me, this movie was a great setup, the same way the Eternals was. This movie was not just a setup for the new Doctor Strange movie, but this movie was also a setup for the multiverse. You know what I'm saying? We already seen this. We already seen the stepping stone with Loki, but now we get it. You know what I'm saying, in the actual movie now. So now you see how this can kind of work. Then you see Doctor Strange, and you see that he's going through all of these different multiverse or all these different universes, and we kind of see how that all ends up playing out. And so the thing is that what I really appreciate about the MCU is that they leave enough to give you what you're looking for, but they also take out enough for you to say, okay, I got a theory about this, and this is my conspiracy theory about this, or this is what I think of. You know what I'm saying? It gives you just the ability to sit and chat and talk about it, which a lot of movies don't give you anymore. Like, to me, if you went to go see this in a movie theater, you left out that movie theater, it was like, yo. So now that, you know what I'm saying, this happened, I remember seeing the theory that the Doctor Strange in um like the Doctor Strange in the Spider-Man movie is not the real Doctor Strange. It's a totally different Doctor Strange. Because
Never
now we
heard
got
that.
them jumping through, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I said I really, really appreciate it, man. And I just, to me, this movie was great because not only did it bring nostalgia, and I'm a sucker for nostalgia, but it brought the nostalgia of those older movies, but it also let us know, like, okay, Disney is about to go ape shit with some of this stuff that they about to start bringing out. Because for them to be able to bring all of those characters back with all the original actors, for them to get Jamie Foxx to redo Electro, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to give them, for them to bring back you know what I'm saying, the actors to do Doc Ock, for them to bring back the actor to do, you know what I'm saying, the Goblin. You got to give them credit for it, man.
Definitely. So, do you want to stay in this lane, or you want to move on to something else?
Now we go ahead and stay in this lane, man. Let's move on to
Okay.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Okay.
Now, to me, this was the weakest of the Thor series, but once again, like I said, I think right now in this phase, everything is about setup. None of this shit is supposed to be like to blow your socks off or wow you out your seat. I think all of this right now is all about the setup. Everything right now is about the setup. Everything is about getting everything prepped because they have so much coming in this year and next year that's really going to beat you over the head, and it's going to be like, oh shit. I think this is going to be like how when they, you know what I'm saying, hit that first Avengers stride and then they just start throwing shit at us left and right. Boom, boom, boom. I think this is going to be, you know what I'm saying? This is the setup for that. And then not only that, you also got to remember too that a lot of the stuff that they have is not just coming in movie form, but we also getting TV shows for this shit. So
Yep.
it's kind of giving them some leeway as well. So like with me, Thor: Love and Thunder is a great connection to me. I look at it um with Vision and WandaVision. You know what I'm saying? WandaVision had, you know what I'm saying, Wanda's two sons, and then in Thor: Love and Thunder, Thor now has a daughter that he has to look after. Um, Especially with losing Jane Foster. Then not only that, we have, you know, in the Black Panther, we got, you know what I'm saying, T'Challa's son. So it's like, not only do we have the young Avengers, we might even have some shit where the kids end up getting a TV show out of this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a
Mhm.
bunch of shit that they can put together. It's a bunch of shit that they can do. But as far as Thor: Love and Thunder, I thought it was a great movie. To me, what they've done with the Thor series that has been to me genius is they have themed them in a way that you can't really do with a lot of movies, right? So or with a lot of superhero movies for that part. So for me, like the first Thor, the, you know what I'm saying, the original Thor movie, to me
Mhm.
is more so of a drama. And then you have like Ragnarok, which is more so of a comedy. You know what I'm saying? You have the Dark World, which is like a thriller. You got Love and Thunder, which is kind of like a coming of age story, but it's still kind of a comedy. You know what I'm saying? And then you got
Mm-hmm.
like I'm missing one. It's Thor, Dark World, Ragnarok, and
I think that's it. It's just that he's been
no, it
in
is. It's
so
four of
many
them.
of
It's
them.
four. Yeah, it's four of them. I'm tripping because Ragnarok is the one with Hela. So yeah, it's four of them. You right.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's
I
just
mean,
that we seeing him in so many of them.
yeah,
It feels
yeah.
like it feel like it's more. And
Hmm.
I'm with you. This was one of the weakest ones, but it doesn't mean it was bad though. I like the
Right.
theme that they did, man. As far as the them using Guns N' Roses, "Little Child of
Yeah.
Mine" as being like the theme of the whole movie. I thought that was a
Yeah.
great choice to go along with it. You know, bringing back everybody. They even brought your girl back from Two Broke Girls. You know what I'm saying? Because she was monumental in the early
Yep. Cat
ones, but we
Dennings.
haven't really seen her. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yep.
Jane Foster wasn't really in it. So
Right.
to be able to bring that in, for them to throw in this whole cancer thing, and then her thinking that if because well, she went to tell him bye basically. She
Hmm.
went to tell him bye and then realized that she was able to, you know what I'm saying, to hold a mighty hammer. But what was dope about it was her hammer had abilities that his hammer didn't. Like, because her hammer was shattered. So she was able to take those shattered pieces
Hmm.
and have it go all over the place, and then it builds itself back
Yeah.
up. I thought that was a really, really good touch. So there were some
But not
things
only
that I
that,
really,
just
really
the
liked about it.
real quick though, the relationship that he had with the hammer and the axe, with Mjolnir, and you know what I'm saying, the fact that that's his original weapon, that's the weapon that he's had, you know what I'm saying, that he was supposed to be with as a kid, and that's the one he was destined to be with, and then like you know what I'm saying, you kind of see this weird, not weird, but like funny, this funny, you know what I'm saying, like kind of ex-girlfriend thing with the new
Yeah.
girlfriend thing
Uh
with the
huh.
weapons. It's like I thought that was genius because it's like, he'd be talking to Millionaire and then you just see the hammer. I mean, you just see the axe just pop up out of nowhere. Like Storm Chaser just comes up out of nowhere and then just be next to him. He'd be like, look, hey, what's going on? I just, just talking to an old friend. Like to me, I just thought that shit was funny. And then not only that, having those relationships with his weapons, but also having a relationship where his real ex is there too. So like, you know what I'm saying? I thought that was dope for them to be able to put those two, you know what I'm saying, looks on that one, you know what I'm saying, constant in the movie.
Yep. Yep, definitely, man. And this will be the last one in this lane, y'all. But I'm pretty sure everybody
Yep.
loved the MCU, so it's not gonna be a big deal. But Doctor Strange, um, what is it? The madness of the
Multiversal Madness.
multiverse of madness.
Yeah.
And I thought this movie was really good. Um, for them to be able to, because this is the movie that gave us like Scarlet Witch. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
she wasn't what's the name of her? What's her other name?
Wanda.
Wanda.
Wanda
Like
Maximoff.
we didn't get the Wanda version. She was actually full blown, you know what I'm saying? Um the witch, the Scarlet Witch.
Yep.
And for us to get that version of her, because me and you had this conversation before where she kind of reminds me of, oh man, what's her name in the X-Men? Jean. Because everybody's like, Jean is the strongest X-Man of all, right?
Yep.
And it's like when we look at Wanda slash Scarlet Witch, when we seen her fight um Thanos, she had Thanos dead to rights.
She was whooping
And
Thanos' ass.
yeah, she was whooping his ass in the end game. And we
Yeah.
seen how powerful she was. Like she's the
Mm-hmm.
one who really got that power. So it's just like her and Doctor Strange going at it was
Mm-hmm.
really like two of the most perfect things to watch because the abilities that he have, like for some odd reason, like Doctor Strange is kind of and I don't know how you feel about this, but I like how they made fun of Hawkeye in his thing because they was like, yo, you're the least popular Avenger, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like, but he had this one girl who just fucking loved him, right? But
Mm-hmm.
what was funny, the reason I bring it up because when you think about Doctor Strange, like he's kind of down there with Hawkeye, kind of, but his
Oh,
abilities
for
are
sure.
so fucking dope. It's like, hold up now, slow down. Like the way he's able to open up portals and just give you this whole new reality that you never even thought
Mm-hmm.
of. And then for him to bring in this new girl and she's able to jump multiverses but don't know how to control it, and for him to be able to coach her into knowing how to control it. And then the
Mm-hmm.
one thing I like, I know I'm rambling, but how Madhu, wait a minute. No, what? No, that was in Spider Man where his fat friend is able to open up the
Yeah.
portals, and he was just
Yeah.
looking at him like, "How the fuck do you know how to do this? Like, we got people training
Exactly.
to learn how to do this, and you just know how to do it," which I thought was funny.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually in Spider Man, but man, I thought that the multiverse, and then for him to go see the different versions of him, and then you have to throw kind of like the love story in there because he goes to his ex-girlfriend's wedding, and then and then come to find out in every universe that he went to, he screwed it up with her. And it
Yeah.
kind of shows you that, all right, so it doesn't matter what universe I'm in, I'm really kind of the same person, and every single time I screwed up with love. You know what I'm saying? Like I ruined it every single time. So I thought that that was a dope concept to put into the movie as well.
Yeah. And the thing is that you brought up you brought up the the thing about how Hawkeye and what I'm saying, Doctor Strange and all these characters aren't as well known as what I'm saying, all the rest of the characters. Um, the, the funny thing is that I think the MCU is so dope because what they've done is they found a way to bring the B list and the C list characters to light. For instance, like Iron Man. Iron Man has never been a major character. Captain America has never been a major character. That's why if you know anything about it, they had to bring the Hulk out because the Hulk is a major character. Thor was never a
Hmm.
major character. You know what I'm saying? Like, so all of that fed off the Hulk. Yeah, they started with Iron Man, but if you notice, the Hulk came and what I'm saying, they fed off of that. And then because I think a lot more people were excited to see the Hulk than they were to see Iron Man.
But you also
Um,
got to understand that was a TV show of the Hulk in like the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So like that's another reason
well,
why I think
the
the Hulk
Hulk
is
has
as
always been
popular
a
as he is.
well, no, that's true because Lou Ferrigno, shout out to him. But the
Yes,
Hulk has
yes.
always been a popular character though. Like the Hulk is one of those guys that, like, it's like the Hulk, Spider Man, X Men, um, the Punisher is kind of up there, but like Black Widow, nobody like that's not a popular character. Um, I mean, for the most part, it's really just like X Men, Spider Man, the Hulk. You might have, I don't know, shit. It may be like one more, but those are like the top. Like for DC is Superman, Spider Man. I mean Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Right. The Flash
Hmm.
was a background character. Green Lantern was a background. So like with that, having those three, what I'm saying, to be with the Hulk and the Avengers, and then now like they're major characters, right? Even like Black Panther. Black Panther wasn't a major character. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that was really they went out on a limb to even create Black Panther because the comic books were so controversial, especially at that time with everything that was going on and what he was able to do and who he was. So then when you bring that into the mix, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so many characters that they're bringing in as well, like Thanos. Like for people to even be talking about Thanos the way that they talking about him, like yo, Thanos is one of those characters that you know they didn't even get to Galactus yet. You know what I'm saying? Which is one of the ones that may be coming. You know what I'm saying? Like Kang the Conqueror, for them to even bring him in, he's one of the lesser known guys, especially as far as like casual popularity. Like that's the thing to me that I think is so dope because they're bringing these guys into this spotlight that they usually don't get in the comic book realm. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Man, you're right, man. You're right. So I think Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was a really dope movie, man.
Yeah.
Dang, I forgot we had that down. All right, one more, y'all. I'm sorry. One more. This is the last one, and we're gonna get out. We're gonna get out. We're gonna get out of this lane. But Wakanda
Yeah.
Forever. I finally went to go see
Oh,
it. I
come
took
on,
the
man.
boys this
Come on,
weekend.
man.
We went to go
Yeah.
see it, and I look. First of all, let me say this. Um, the tribute that they did, it was dope. I like how they did the. I always look for. I like little stupid shit. I like how they do the. Before every Marvel movie, they do the whole thing, the Marvel thing that kind of flips down and they show you all the clips from all of the movies. Well, in this one, they
Mm-hmm.
give you all Chadwick. It's all Chadwick in that whole thing. So I
Yeah.
thought from the movie starting, I thought that was dope right off the rip. I was like, I
Yep.
love how they did that.
Yep.
And then it gives you other little stuff where what I'm saying, you see a mural of him, you see that, and then they give you little what I'm saying, little clips of that. I love how they did the Killmonger thing. When
Mm-hmm.
she redesigned the whole thing to be able to give herself the Black Power,
Yeah.
the
I
Black
mean,
Panther,
technically, right.
yeah. But to give you the Black Panther strength, and like you would go and see the ancestors, and she sees Killmonger, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, threw me completely off. I did not see it coming. So I thought that was dope because she went back and she had vengeance, and I was wondering because we all knew by the way Michael B. Jordan was talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't say nothing, but you could tell.
He was
Like
gonna have some part
Marvel,
in it.
yeah, you knew he was gonna be in it.
Yeah.
We didn't know at what
I mean, but he was
capacity it
too.
was gonna be.
He was. People fucked with him too much for him to not be in it, though. At least in some capacity.
What I think what ended up happening, I think when they did the movie, and I think that this happens sometimes because we've seen in other movies where like a character may have died, and then all of a sudden they
Mm-hmm.
found a way to somehow bring them back, and
Mm-hmm.
or either it's a memory or something. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that they knew how popular Killmonger was going to be. I think that when they shot
Exactly.
it, they was like, "Oh, well, this is dope." You know what I'm saying? I think people gonna like this. I didn't think that they was gonna know that people were gonna like it as much as they did. They was like, "Oh shit, like
I
we
think
fucked up."
Ryan Coogler. I think Ryan Coogler knew.
You think
I
you knew?
definitely think Ryan. Oh, I think Ryan Coogler knew for sure.
Because
Cause his whole thing was he's from Oakland, so his whole thing was making him from Oakland. You know what I'm saying, the original home of the Black Panthers, where what I'm saying they were created and started. But having him to have that sentiment of what I'm saying, the original Black Panther Party, because like the Black Panther, if you go back and look at those comics, like that's what he was. Like he was, it's like a whole run of comics where he was just beating the shit out the Klan. Like that's all he was doing. He wasn't doing nothing else in the world but just like finding the Klan and whooping the Klan's ass. So what I'm saying, like between that, fighting Ulysses Claw, and then what I'm saying, like every now and then going back to Wakanda and what I'm saying, stopping Killmonger from trying to take over. What I'm saying, like, or I forgot what the one dude's name, but it's a voodoo dude that they use, which I thought that's who they was gonna bring back to bring Killmonger back, but I was hoping that they did that, but they didn't get too deep into it. But they to me they took the right route. You know what I'm saying? You already had it set up to where in the comic books Shuri takes the mantle of Black Panther, so it was only right for what I'm saying, since Letitia Wright has done such a great job at being Shuri. And who Shuri really is. Like Shuri is one of the smartest characters in the MCU, hands down. Like she's done shit that Tony Stark hasn't done. She's done shit that Bruce Banner hasn't done. Like she one of them top dogs as far as intelligence goes in the MCU. So to have her take over that mantle, what I'm saying, and be the Black Panther. I know a lot of people was like, oh, they just wanted to have a woman there. Yeah, that's the motherfuckers that just watch the movies. You don't know what you're talking about, because in the comic books, she got a whole thing where she was the Black Panther and she was way more ruthless than what T'Challa was. So the fact that they even pulled back on her character, what I'm saying, for her to spare Namor in that one. I thought was dope. I think they did a great job with Namor, giving him his powers, letting him say that he was a mutant, which I thought was dope because he is. You know what I'm saying? Like bringing all that into everything, and it looks like that he's gonna have a lot more down the line. I mean, to me, I thought the movie was dope. Um, it- Once again, Marvel doing a great job with setup. It's a lot of shit that they set up for later on down the line. Um, I, I think this is gonna be something. They brought the you know what I'm saying, the angels. They brought the you know what I'm saying, the angels in with the ex Dora Milaje characters, you know what I'm saying, bringing in the angels, which are you know what I'm saying, actual characters in the comics. I think they did a lot of great things with sticking to you know what I'm saying, some of the comic canon and bringing that into the movies, bringing that into the MCU. So I definitely enjoyed it, man.
That's what's up, man. So look, we'll get into this one, but we won't go too long on it because we literally just did a pod on it. But
Yeah,
I think Nope was really good, man.
yeah.
I just feel like so I did a pod where I was speaking on like my last podcast I did on 28 minutes or less. I entitled it "Right People in the Room," and I did like a little tiny segment where I brought up a guy like Jordan Peele. And the reason I brought him up was
Mm-hmm.
because I think that when it comes to Jordan Peele in Hollywood, like I feel like they will give him, I think budget wise, he can get like, so okay, this is the concept that I did, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I entitled it "Right People in the Room" because there was three films I really singled out. I ended up speaking about four films, but there was three films that I singled out, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that was Dead Presidents, um, The Negotiator, and Bone Collector, right? And I was just talking about how
Right.
these movies didn't get any love at the Oscars, right? But the reason
Mm-hmm.
I singled out these movies and the reason, because look, we speak about this a lot, how I don't necessarily care about the Oscars, but what the Oscars does is if a guy like F. Gary Gray, who was the director of The Negotiator, if he was able to get an Oscar nod, he would be able to say,
Mm-hmm.
"Yo," he go in, they're like, "Yo, we'll give you 20 million for the budget on this movie. Yo, I'm Oscar nominated. My number's 50, 60, 70." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that I would the premise that I was saying was if you get that Oscar nod, today's price is not yesterday's price. So that was my
Absolutely.
whole concept of that podcast. And so I was saying that if a guy like F. Gary Gray or a guy like or the Hughes brothers who directed Dead Presidents, and the other film, the last film that I brought up was Juice, Ernest Dickinson. If they was able to get the budgets like a James Cameron or Steven Spielberg and stuff like that, then they would be like, basically what I was saying was they're making so much noise without getting the budgets that these guys are getting. They're doing more with less. Is what the point that
Mm-hmm.
I was making. And what I ended up saying on that podcast was like Jordan Peele is not getting James Cameron type of movie budgets. He's not get. I said that he's more around Quentin Tarantino realm, like when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to budget. Like I think that Jordan probably gets around that. Maybe I don't even think he's really up to Christopher Nolan money yet. But for him to be able to do what he did with Nope, I thought, like I said on that podcast, it was refreshing to be able to see something new. We sit here the whole time thinking we're watching a movie about a spaceship, and this thing was a living organism. Like it was totally nothing that we really expected to happen, and to have this black family who goes all the way back to their great grandfather being the first person filmed on the horse, and he was a stuntman, and he didn't get his credit. To add that storyline, to add the Gordy storyline, I thought it was really, really dope, man. So I'm not gonna go too long on it because we just did it. But your thoughts on Nope?
I thought Nope was genius. You know what I'm saying? For them to have, like you said, the spaceship that we thought was a spaceship, which wasn't a spaceship, it actually was the alien. Um, to me, it was genius because you don't think of like we already have these preconceived notions of what aliens look like, right? Like
Hmm.
we always either think there's like a bug, a big ass bug, or it's like this weird little gray man with a big ass head walking around or some shit like that, right? Um, for him to have this visual, him and his team to have this visual of what an alien could possibly be, and it's just this flying being that's just going around that it don't look human. You know what I'm saying? It don't look like a quote unquote alien. You think it's a flying saucer? It's not a flying saucer. At the end, it turns into this big ass white ribbon type shit. Like I thought that was genius for them to have this vision of what an alien could possibly be. Not only that, for them to center a movie around you know black people on a ranch, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, being out in the middle of no fucking where and aliens coming to attack like that, that's a hard movie to make. And for them to
Yes.
come through with that and actually be successful at it, I thought that was genius. They did a great job with that one.
Definitely, man. So, like we spoke about earlier in the pod, we both had two movies that neither one of us saw. So this is gonna be a little segment where we can single out those two movies. Um, I'm gonna go right out the gate, man. The movie that I actually had number one on the list, if we was doing the list, man, was the Ray Donovan movie, and I was,
Yeah.
I've been invested in Ray Donovan for a long time. Like I think, if I'm not mistaken, they went through 7 seasons. And for the people that don't know the backstory, was when the show ended, it wasn't a bad ending, but at the same time, Ray Donovan got canceled, and the fans had so much outrage where they was like, y'all can't leave us like this. Like we need to be able to cross all the T's and dot all the I's with Ray Donovan. So
Yeah.
Showtime linked up with Lee Schreiber, and they was like, yo, what we'll do is we'll get a Ray Donovan movie to cap it off, so we can have all the answers, all the questions answered, and we can actually put a button on this thing. And so if you never seen the show, it's not really gonna make too much sense to you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you can watch it and it'll be a good movie, but if you actually seen the show, it will be a phenomenal movie. It was great. I love the
Hmm.
way they finished it off. Showtime, Elise Robert did a great job. Um, like I say, if you never seen the show, it's just not really gonna it's not gonna do its justice. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
shout out to them and what they was able to put together there. Like I told you, we did that on this podcast. Like Ray Donovan was in my top three. I can't remember exactly where I had it, but it's in my top threes of shows of all time. I thought that like
Hmm.
just the concept of the show is so dope that Ray Donovan is like a Hollywood fixer. Like he just go in and just like make sure that celebrities and businessmen and businesswomen don't get caught up in shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the way I
Yep.
always explain it was the very first scene of the first episode. I give y'all the apology. I'm shutting up. So he's at home. He gets a phone call from this dude. I think he was a football player, basketball player. I can't remember. He was like Ray.
Hmm.
He was like, man, I just woke up. Man, this girl is dead, man. And so Ray come over there. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of this, take this, get rid of this, take this, boom, boom, boom. I make some phone calls, and he was able to get my dude off. Not even
Hmm.
off, like the dude did, like he got rid of the body, and like it just everything just disappeared. And like that's what Ray
Yeah.
Donovan was. But within Ray Donovan being that Hollywood fixer, he has his own issues at home. Where he has a brother with Parkinson's. He has another brother who's dealing with being touched by a priest. Then we find out probably like 4 or 5 seasons in, Ray was actually touched by a priest as well. So it's like all of this family stuff that's going on, and then they have a mixed brother that's played by Pookie Hall who just comes out of
Hmm.
nowhere, and it's just like cause they dad left and shacked up with this black woman, and then now they
Yeah.
got a mixed brother all of a sudden, and it's just and he
Whoa,
feels
whoa, whoa,
left
whoa,
out.
whoa, wait. Pooch Hall is they brother. They have
Yeah,
brother.
Yes.
Come on, man. You could have found a different light skinned nigga to play. I mean, all right, okay.
But man, it's a really great show, man.
That's hilarious.
There's only a few shows where I can go back and watch it.
Hmm.
I've watched I'm on like my third, no, really I'm on like my fourth time watching Luther over again because the new Luther movie is coming out in March. Um, I've watched Sopranos twice, the whole 7 seasons. I watched it twice. Um, and Ray Donovan, that's another show where I can just go back and watch it and we'll have no problems with it. So man, Ray Donovan the movie, man. That's one of mine that I got.
Man, that's what's up, man. So for mine, it is the Fantastic Beast saga, man. Secrets of Dumbledore. If you know what I'm saying, what this is about, salute to you because a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they didn't really pick up on it, but for those Harry Potter fans out there, you definitely did. It's basically a spinoff of the Harry Potter Wizard World where Fantastic Beast is this guy who is basically he's out here. He's a part of this group that they go out and they, you know what I'm saying, they catch these beasts or whatever that's entering into the quote unquote muggle world. And that's like the human world or whatever. And basically they kind of put a not a capstone, but they kind of made that link up of, you know what I'm saying, the Harry Potter series and the Fantastic Beasts series, knowing that, you know what I'm saying, both of these are connected. So they finally, you know what I'm saying, kind of connected them and kind of gave, you know what I'm saying, both parties what they were looking for in this one. And we realized that Dumbledore is connected with a lot more shit than just wizardry. And I definitely enjoyed it. I've enjoyed all the Harry Potter movies. The Fantastic Beasts movies were great as well. So this one just was like a nice little capstone to, you know what I'm saying, um, set everything, you know what I'm saying, in place. So I mean that's pretty much all I got for that one.
Cool, cool. And the other movie that I got that you weren't able to see was Scream. Um,
Hmm.
I hate how they do that, man. Like, just give it something else. Like, I understand because it's like when you say Scream, you think of the original version. You know what I mean? And then they give it the same name, but it's like the sixth one or some shit. But
It's the
anyway,
remake, man.
um, yeah, but it is what it is. I will say this. With the new one that's coming out, Niv Campbell will not be in the new one. She said she's done doing the Scream movies. But what was dope about this movie was the fact that we found out that the main character in this movie is actually Billy's daughter, which Billy was
He was the
Sydney's
first killer, right?
boyfriend. Yeah, and he
Yeah.
actually cheated on her and got another girl pregnant, and she had no idea. So that was funny. The fact that she found out, like, oh, so you Billy's daughter, so so she's thinking in her head, like, oh, so this motherfucker
Yeah.
cheated on me back in high school. But
Yo,
so
wait a
that was
minute, bro.
that was funny.
Hey man, for that to be the connection is crazy.
Dude, I thought it was so funny, man. Because
Yeah, that's
remember,
wild.
remember she wouldn't let him smash
Hmm.
in that movie until the end. So I thought that was dope for to have that connection in there. Um, Dewey finally dies. So I thought that was, finally moving on to another thing. But the reason I watched it is because I've been involved with Scream for so long. I think
Hmm.
I want to say, was it 95?
It
I
may
want to
have
say
been.
it was like, I think it was like
It was damn.
94,
It was
95.
mid. It was definitely mid '90s.
Yeah, mid 90s, man. To be involved in it this long, to keep it going this long. I just feel like, what I'm saying, if it's another installment, I might as well go ahead and watch it. That's all it was. I just, I've already seen all the other ones, so I might as well continue to watch it. So man, shout out to Scream, man. Rest in peace to Wes Craven. You know what I'm saying, the creator of Scream. But
Yeah,
what's the
definitely.
other one? What's the other one that you got?
So I have Uncharted. Shout out to Tom Holland. Shout out to Mark Wahlberg. I was excited to go see this, even though I didn't go see this. I kind of waited till it came out on streaming. But I was excited to see this, basically because if anybody knows me, I'm a video game nerd, and this was basically, what I'm saying, that's what this is. It's based off the video game Uncharted. It's about a guy who is a treasure hunter, kind of like in that Indiana Jones vein. But it's more, what I'm saying, realistic. It's not him, what I'm saying, fighting off a bunch of dudes with swords with a six shooter and killing 20 people with a six shooter and only 7 bullets. It's none of that crazy shit. It's really just, what I'm saying, like a bunch of people who have to use cunning, what I'm saying, a bunch of people who have to use skill and, what I'm saying, wit to pretty much steal this glorious piece of treasure that everybody just so happens to be after. And it was a great movie. It was a, what I'm saying, a great twist on the video game and the premise of the game, which I thought was dope. I enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely, I believe it's on HBO Max still. You can go check it out. But if you are anybody that has played Uncharted, you would definitely enjoy this movie for sure.
That's what's up, man. I never played the game, by the way, so yeah, I'm completely lost.
Fire,
So,
fire.
so, so this is a movie, man. It was done by the Russo brothers, man. It was a Netflix original. When we both seen this, we were just like, "Yo, this shit is fire, man." And that's The Gray Man. Um,
Yep,
Ryan Gosling, you know, what I'm saying, you had Chris Evans, who me and you both was like, "Yo, seeing him play the bad guy was just something that
crazy.
we so used to seeing him as the nice, you know what I
hmm
mean, Captain America.
Wholesome Captain
Even
America. Yeah, wholesome Captain
yeah,
America.
even when he was Mr. Flame, you know what I'm saying? It's like he was
hmm
the funny guy who, you know what I'm saying? Like we never really seen him in his vein. And so to see Chris
hmm
Evans first film after he aged out, I would say, of being Captain America with him going
Right.
back in the time and living his old life and coming back as an old man. Um,
hmm
for this to be his first film, I thought it was a great choice by him, and I thought The Gray Man was good, man. With him being not him, but Ryan Gosling being, you know, the CIA agent who goes in for this job. It goes sideways, and now he's on the run, and then he's trying to save this little girl at the same time. Like I thought that what we was able to get out of this movie, like Netflix, when it comes to like the like, because look, we've seen the storyline countless times. You know what I'm saying? But
Yep.
this what Netflix is really good at this, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like when you think about the Gray Man, when you think about Ava, you know what I'm saying? When you talk about Kate,
Yep.
like they doing really good at these types of movies that they're choosing. So I thought The Gray Man was a movie that was really underrated, man. That came out in 2022.
I agree, man. This was a refreshing action movie. You know what I'm saying? To me, it was an action movie that had two guys that were believable in the action roles. Um, and not only that, it wasn't like the cheesy action movies that we've been getting as of late. Like to me, this was more so they took a page out of those old school books and was like, yo, let's make sure we got some explosions. Let's make sure we got a lot of fights, a lot of gun shooting. You know what I mean? Let's make our guy a guy who, what I'm saying, they took that brooding guy who's not to be messed with, who's top of his class, blah, blah, blah. And not only did they find somebody who was able to go toe to toe with him, who was also of that same vein, but to use Chris Evans, to use Chris Evans in that way, even though, what I'm saying, he just came off of Captain America, was crazy because we have this image of Chris Evans right now. And to see
Hmm.
him playing this character is, what I'm saying, it's not only just refreshing, but it's shocking because we're so used to seeing him be on, what I'm saying, the holy, what I'm saying, the holy trail, and then for him to turn around and be like, nah, I'm about to change this joint up. And what I'm saying, we already know that he got the fighting skills and he can, what I'm saying, we seen him in Captain America. Not only that, bro, Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, like, who was the girl supposed to choose, man? The ladies was going crazy for this movie, man. We know this. Come on, man. The ladies was going nuts, man. Just like when they seen Michael B. Jordan in Black Panther, they was going crazy. Like, come on, man. You
And
can't beat that.
and then the greatest segue is to go right into another Netflix movie, Spiderhead,
Mm-hmm.
where now we get Chris
Yes.
Hemsworth as the bad guy.
Yes.
And like
Yes.
that was crazy, man. And the whole concept of the movie is like this guy who is offering people to shorten their sentences to do these experiments. And
Mm-hmm.
this dude was completely taking advantage of these people, like because it wasn't even really he was shortening their sentences, like their sentences were done, but he was just like
Mm-hmm.
using these people to test this stuff. But at the same time, this is the same situation of like you would find in the you know what I'm saying in the 10 crack commandments, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't get high off your own
Yeah.
supply. He was getting high
Right.
off his own, not high, but he was using his own shit, and
Yeah.
he became an addict of his own stuff that he was using on these people. But Spiderhead
Mm-hmm.
was actually a refreshing film, man. And then you
Yes.
got him and Miles Teller going head to head. Like that was it was a really, really good movie, man. Netflix did their thing with Spiderhead.
I enjoy watching this only because, you know what I'm saying, I'm real big on psychological thrillers. And not only that, to have a guy like Miles Teller who we got to start giving him his just due, man. Dude has range. He can pretty much do it all. I don't think we've seen him in a role that he can't do yet. From comedy to drama to you know what I'm saying, the the action roles, like dude has pretty much done it all. And I think he did a great job in this. Shout out to Jeremy Smollett. She did a great job in this as well. And Chris Hemsworth, his acting has stepped up a lot, especially watching this. His acting has stepped up a lot. I mean, for us to really know him as Thor, I mean, like he's been in other things. He's been in like Cabin in the Woods and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Doing like small roles here and there. But like for him to kind of play co-lead in this movie and for him to help carry this movie the way he did, I think he did an amazing job. The cast was great in this. The premise of the movie was amazing as well, and just the fact that you see this guy who's, like you said, holding these guys against their will without them really knowing, and pretty much just keeping them drugged up. Also he can get this approved, and you know what I'm saying, and get this sold and everything like that. I thought that was a great movie from Netflix. They really did a great job with that.
They did, man. They really did. And to stay on with Netflix, man, you with another heartthrob. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got the Adam Project, which was
Yep.
my man Ryan Reynolds. You know what I'm saying? We got what's my girl name? Zoe Sandaya, Sandaya, not Zendaya,
It's-
Sandata, Sonata. Listen, the whole time travel thing that they did in this was a great concept, and it was a different
Yeah.
concept. You know, for him
Yeah.
to go back and see his 12-year old self, because he was basically running from these people and went back.
Mm-hmm.
And when he went back, he damaged his ship. So the only thing he could do was go to his old house and try to rebuild his ship, because he knew that his dad had everything that he needed to redo
Yeah.
his ship. And
Yeah.
then for his dad to have started this time travel thing, and then he had to go back with his self as an older man, and his 12-year-old self to go to talk to his dad, and his dad was like, y'all don't supposed to be here. Like
Right.
that movie was so good, and just wasn't. I know I always say this and I sound like a broken record, but I just feel like sometimes these movies don't get recognized the way that they should, and I felt like that's what happened with the Adam Project.
I agree. Ryan Reynolds in this movie. The one thing about Ryan Reynolds that I like is he can kind of play the same character over and over again, and it
Hmm.
never gets old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he's so good at playing that role, it never gets old. And the one thing to me that I like is he doesn't play it to where it's it's the same person every time. He does it in a way that he may be, you know what I'm saying, playing that same like pompous, arrogant dude, but in a way he'll add, you know what I'm saying, some sort of humbleness in one role, and in the other role he'll have like a mean streak. In the other role he'll be like super clueless as to, you know what I'm saying, doing this or being this way. Like to me, he's the same guy, or he's the same person in Free Guy or the Guy movie that he did, but in a weird sense, he wasn't the same guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he finds ways to tweak those roles to where they're different every time, and he's another person that I think he should start getting his flowers because he does a great job. Um, Doing that and changing it up every time. I mean, Zoe Saldana, that's one of my favorite Hollywood crushes. So I mean, she can do no wrong in my eyes. She'll be fine forever. Um,
Mhm.
but everybody else did good. The young guy that played his 12-year-old self, I think that was amazing. Like those two going back and forth, kind of trying to play the same character in a sense. I thought that was funny as well. And then shout out to Mark Ruffalo too, making an appearance in this movie, being their dad. He did a great job too.
Definitely did, man. And another movie, it wasn't a Netflix movie, but you can find it on Netflix now, is man Bullet Train. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? Brad Pitt.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Look, we spoke about this movie not too long ago, so we ain't really got to go too
Hmm.
long on it. Um, but Brian Tyree Henry, he did a phenomenal job with the accent. He was able to
Hmm.
pull off. Bullet Train was hilarious. We saw how you say it again? Bad what? I didn't say it right. You said I had to say it like what?
fuck, I forgot.
Bad
It's
Bunny.
not Bad Bunny, it's Bad Bunny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not doing that.
Come on,
So
man. One time. It's you know what I'm saying? Like you said on the commercial, man, it's not player, it's playa.
but Bullet Train was hilarious. And
Hmm.
it really had like and then the storylines that it had in it, I thought they did really good with it to be able to put all of these storylines and for it to all end up at one place. And then
Yeah,
you find
shoot.
out what look, man. I thought they did a really, really good job, man. I'm not gonna front. And it ended up being better than I thought. And Brad Pitt playing that character, that's like he found his niche. Like that
Yeah.
that Brad Pitt where that's the same Brad Pitt as Mr. and Mrs.
Mr. and
Smith
Mr. Smith. Yep.
and Glorious Bastards.
Yep.
Like that Brad Pitt, love that Brad Pitt.
Man, I listen, I'm not gonna go too long on it. For me, movie of the year.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Movie of the year, bro. That movie was amazing.
Okay. I mean,
And
listen.
so last one, man. Last one. Um
No, second to last one. We got two. We got two.
Second to last one.
Well, let's go with this because this is on Netflix currently at the moment, and I spoke on it. We
Okay.
spoke on it on our what's the name, so we don't really have to go too long on this because we did this on the
Right.
coming soon. Glass Onion, man. Glass Onion was up there.
Yes.
Glass Onion was in my top five. It was in my top
Yeah.
five movies to
Yeah.
come out this year. The murder
Amazing.
mystery,
Amazing.
Clue. It was everybody did a phenomenal job. Janelle Monae, Daniel Craig, Kate Hudson. They did a really really great job with this movie, man. Y'all could possibly because we haven't got all the way in it yet. Y'all could possibly get a whole pot on this soon.
For
So
sure.
yeah, but Glass Onion was definitely one of the top movies to come out this year.
I agree. I think everybody did a great job. Shout out to Dave Bautista. He's really getting his acting chops together, and he's starting to take on a lot more roles. And the ability to kind of, you know what I'm saying, make fun of himself in some of these roles is great. Even though to me, I feel like it's not really hard to act, even because he came from the WWE, and that's like what they do. But for him to play in some of these roles that he's played in, like for him to play this one's for sure, like I think he kind of took that comedy role over. You know what I'm saying? He did a great job doing that. Like when he was downstairs in that basement, bro, and he was doing that live stream or that like that video, hilarious. He had me on that one. He had me on that one. So yeah, Glass Onion was an amazing movie, man. Um, and then last but not least, man, we got to talk about this one, bro. The Black Phone. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yo, let me tell you something, man. Ethan Hawke, bro. This dude, I don't know how he does it, but it's certain roles that he gets, and when he gives them like he really like kind of stands out without really doing the work to stand out. And I don't mean that like in a bad way. I'm saying like the way he does it, it just seems so natural. But that's a better way to put it. Like him in Training Day, right?
Hmm.
He did a great fucking job in Training Day, bro. To be like to play this like this this naive rookie cop who, you know what I'm saying, he's trying to get his shit together, trying to learn the ropes on the streets and on the beat and all this shit. But for him to do this role, this guy who's, you know what I'm saying, kidnapping and killing these kids and nobody knows where they are, and like the whole premise of this movie is just crazy in itself. And then like the little boy talking to, you know what I'm saying, all the dead kids on the phone,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yep.
saying, being able to, I mean like to me, man, if Bullet Train didn't come out, I would say this would be movie of the year.
That's high praise. I liked it, the Black Phone, and I thought it was dope that all of the kids that died down there gave him. It was like a puzzle piece. Like all of them
Yep,
gave him a different puzzle piece to be able to get
yep.
himself up out of there. So I thought that was dope. So yeah, I liked it, Black Phone. I really did. It was a different concept, and I like how they set it. I think 80s, was it 80s
Yep,
setting?
yep,
I think it was the 80s.
yep.
Yeah, I believe it was the 80s. I think that's the best way to get a horror movie in now these days. And then you forgot about this one, the last one that I had down, also in the same realm, and we did a podcast on that as well. Was X.
Yeah,
I thought it
yeah.
was a really really good movie.
Magnificent.
I love the
Magnificent.
concept on that. With them really taking that whole, oh man, I forgot what it was. Texas Roadhouse. Wow, dude.
Texas Chainsaw.
Oh man, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre footage taken like it's really like birthed from that movie, and
Yeah.
for them to do the whole where they were shooting a porn movie and had that whole little side story in there, I thought that was dope, man. So I really got a shout out to the movie X, man. That was a really really good movie that came out this past year.
I agree, man. They did a great job with that. The premise, once again, to me, that's what gets me every time is the premise of a movie. That's how you can snatch me in instantly, and if you can keep up with that, then I mean, I'm glued and glued into the whole show. Um, But the way that they did everything to have the killer, you know what I'm saying, be this old lady and this old couple eventually, like that was not something that I was going to be able to see at all. Like the trailer
Yeah.
itself is already like not giving you anything, but the fact that it's giving you enough for you to be like, oh, this seems interesting. And then when you watch it, you like, oh shit. Like, okay. I like this. They did a great
Yep.
job. I mean, they kept it simple, kept it in the, you know what I'm saying, excuse me, the classic lane of, you know what I'm saying, true original horror films. And I agree, man. This movie was the joint, man, for sure.
Definitely, man. Not mad at it. That was a
Yeah,
great
man.
show,
So
man.
lady,
That was a
nah,
good
big
recap.
time. Big time, man. And then it's a lot that we didn't even get a chance to get to, of course. So I mean, we gave you guys a lot. So if you haven't seen any of those in 2002, by all means, please go take your time and go, you know what I'm saying, grab a couple on streaming, or you know what I'm saying, if you still got a red box or a family video by you, go rent them out on DVD. I'm sure you got something you can play, you know what I'm saying, play it on. Um but listen, man, if you enjoyed this episode, if you like this episode, if it's a movie, you know what I'm saying, that we mentioned that you didn't or did like, or if it's a movie that we didn't mention that you did or you didn't like, hit us up on the socials, on Instagram and Twitter at VA Pod. I'm sorry, View Anon Pod. I'm tripping. I'm about to say Facebook. At View Anon Pod. On Facebook at VA Pod Watch Group. And as for me, you can hit me up on Twitter at Schools Bronson. And I got a link tree in my bio. You can find me everywhere else there.
And y'all can find me at s.foster8 on Instagram and on Twitter at 28 minutes or less pod. That is just on Instagram. Also, new podcast came on episode 110, first episode of the year. I spoke about it in the middle of this podcast on Right People in the Room. So go check that out on all major platforms. And that's all I got.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. My fault. I kind of went in and out. But listen, thank you guys so much for your support. It is always greatly appreciated. Thank you for tuning in with us on our 3rd year Podiversary. We still got a lot more to go. Have a happy new year. And you already know, man, listen, like they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap.
Cut.